Okay, we're carrying on with trigonometry and modelling, and today we are looking at another use of the addition formulae. Let's get cracking. So, you're given that sine of A equals 4/5 and that A is acute, okay? Remember, you've always got sine of the angle or cos of the angle or tan of the angle. A being acute means that it's going to be in this first quadrant here, and so sine will be positive, cos will be positive, and tan will be positive from your cast diagram. So we've got that information, but I want to try to find out cos A and tan A. We'll come to the second section in just a second. So first up, if sine A equals 4/5, then sine squared A surely equals 16/25. Now sine squared is actually equal to 1 minus cos squared A equals 16/25. So negative cos squared A must equal negative 9/25. So cos squared A must equal 9/25. And we're going to root, we've got cos of A equals 3/5. But whenever you square root stuff, because you're in A level, you need to figure out whether it's positive or negative. Well, A is acute, and as we said first, the first quadrant means that sine, cos and tan will all be positive, and so cos of A will equal positive 3/5. Now tan of A is going to equal sine A divided by cos A, which will be 16/25 divided by, pardon me, not 16/25, 4/5 divided by 3/5, and so therefore tan A is equal to 4/3. Okay, so there's cos A and tan A done. Next, you're given that cos B is equal to negative 7/25 and that B is a reflex angle. Now this is really annoying when you get given these things, because you'll sometimes be given acute, you'll sometimes be given obtuse, you sometimes be given 0 to 90, 90 to 180, 180 to 270 or 270 to 360, or the radian versions obviously. But every so often you're given a question that says a reflex angle, and you need to try to figure out which of these two quadrants it is that you're going to be using. Now as luck would have it, it's really easy to do. Cos of the angle is negative, okay, which means it cannot be that quadrant. It has to be in this quadrant here, okay. B will be this angle all the way around. A will be that little angle there, okay. B is going to be that reflex angle that takes you into there, where tan should be expected to be positive, but also sine and cos will be expected to be negative, okay. So you are given that cos of B equals negative 7/25. So if cos of B equals that, then cos squared of B must equal 49/625. Okay. Now cos squared of B is 1 minus sine squared of B, which is going to equal 49/625. Okay. So we'll have negative sine squared of B must equal negative 576/625. You can tap this sort of stuff into your calculator, cancel off the negatives, and we're going to square root through. So sine of B will equal plus or minus 24/25. Now, what sign is it going to be? Because we're in this section where cos is negative and we're in the reflex section. Well, only tan's expected to be positive, so we've actually got sine of B is equal to negative 24/25. Okay, and tan of B must be equal to sine of B divided by cos of B, or sine of B divided by cos of B is going to be negative 24/25 divided by negative 7/25. When you've got these common denominators, just divide across the top, you get your answer, which is going to be negative 24/-7, which is 24/7. Don't bother giving me 3 3/7, it's pointless. Okay, you don't need to do keep, switch, flip on that stuff. You can tap it into your calculator, but to be honest, it's so obvious that you should be able to see that tan B would be 24/7. Okay, now that's not a use yet of the compound angles formula, but you do need to know how to do this stuff in order to use the compound angles formula for these questions. Luckily enough though, when we're going to be using them on this question here, I've actually written them out. Okay, they're on there for you already. So using the information that you found out, you find cos of A plus B. Well, cos of A plus B will be cos of A, cos of B. When we have a plus, we use a minus in there. Okay, minus sine of A, sine of b. Okay, well, cos A is 3/5 times by cos B, which is negative 7 over 25, minus, we've got sine A, which is 4/5, multiplied by sine B, which is negative 24 over 25. Okay, so that's going to be negative 21 over 125 minus, now 4 times 24 is 96 over 125, and we're going to end up with negative 21 plus 96 over 125, which actually ends up being equal to 75 over 125, which can be simplified to 3/5 if you wanted to. Okay, pretty interesting, not overly scary. It seems pretty much okay. Hopefully we're happy enough with that. It's a bit of a strange one because it comes out as 3/5 and cos A is equal to 3/5, so for some reason this stuff equals cos A. Strange. Okay, next we've got tan of A plus B. So tan of A plus B will equal, well, we've got tan of A plus tan of B over 1 minus tan A, tan B. Okay, well, tan of A is 4/3 plus tan of B, which is 24 over 7, divided by 1 minus 4/3 lots of 24 over 7. Okay, here you're going to get 28 plus 72, which is going to be 100 over 21, divided by 1 minus 4 24s and 96 over 21. Okay, we have 100 over 21 divided by, we've got 21 over 21 minus 96 over 21, or 21 minus 96 will be negative 75 over 21, which is going to be 100 over negative 75, which will be negative 4/3. Okay, next up, cosec of A minus B. Well, cosec of A minus B will be 1 over sine of A minus B. Not overly complicated here. We've got 1 divided by, it's always a good idea to kind of give this kind of version of 1 divided by and work out all this stuff, and then we can flip it later. We've got sine of A, which is 4/5, and then cos of B, which was times by negative 7/25, and then instead of having a minus, oh, we'll still have a minus, good news. Okay, so we've got minus cos of A, which was 3/5, multiplied by sine of B, which is negative 24 over 25. Okay, that's going to be 1 divided by negative 28 over 125 plus 3 lots of 24, which is going to be 72 over 125, which is going to equal 1 divided by, well, 72 divided by 28 is going to be 44 over 125, and 1 divided by that will equal 125 over 44. Job done. Okay, the cosec thing doesn't really make it much more difficult, to be honest, but it can throw some people off. Okay, hopefully you're happy enough with that. The questions that I want you to do are in the Edexcel Year 2 Pure Book. They are in exercise 7b on pages 172 and 173, specifically this is 173. The questions I want you to do are questions 6, 7, 8 and 9, which are all pretty similar to what I've just shown you, as well as, if you want to, the extension, which is question 10. Good luck.